There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Do you have unclaimed property? Check today at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. The Illinois Treasurer's Office safeguards unclaimed property such as life insurance proceeds, missing paychecks, and forgotten bank deposits. There is $2 billion in unclaimed property. Check if your name is among the thousands who have unclaimed property at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. That's www.IllinoisTreasurer.gov. This message brought to you by the Illinois Treasurer's Office.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
In a hurry but want a fresh, affordable meal to serve your family or friends? Biaggi's Pronto Packs make it easy to enjoy an authentic Italian meal at home or on the go. Perfectly sized to serve 4 to 5 people and starting at only $30. Pronto Packs include your choice of a pasta or 2 pizzas with a house or Caesar salad and freshly baked bread with Biaggi's butter for dipping. Or if you're planning a meal for a large group, just ask about their party pans, sized for 8 to 12 guests, and ready for pickup with 24 hours advance notice. With 6 Illinois locations, Biaggi's Carryout is the perfect solution for your busy lifestyle.
Watching these kids grow up is amazing, but keeping up with a growing family can be a challenge. 3 boys need a lot of school supplies and sports gear, so we started using our family pumpkin farm to help us keep up. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation. It's my personal responsibility.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for your family's future isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find a representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
This portion of the game sponsored by Biaggi's, where carryout and curbside pickup make it easy to enjoy the great taste of Biaggi's at home. Visit Biaggi's online at Biaggi's.com.
It is Championship Saturday in Joliet, the final day of the high school sports season in Illinois, and our 3A title game matchup features the St. Ignatius Wolfpack taking on the Potters from Morton. And hi again, everybody. We welcome you to Joliet Route 66 Stadium. Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo. Yesterday, these two teams got here by virtue of how they've pretty much done it all in the postseason. Morton, an easy win over Nazareth Academy, 8-1. And for St. Ignatius, the Wolfpack, the 3-2, 8-inning walk-off win, the fourth straight one-run win for the Wolfpack.
Two good teams that pitched extremely well. Yesterday, Morton pounded out 13 hits, St. Ignatius 9 in that win. And both of these teams playing the championship game played error-free baseball. You pitch, you pick it up, and you have a chance to win a title.
St. Ignatius, the visitors in this ball game, 20 wins against 11 losses. Their lineup looks like this. Brian Gannon, the center fielder, to lead it off, be followed by Nick Palermo and Thomas Stute. Middle of the order, Dominic Fisher, the second baseman. Will McManmans at first base. Designated hitter Ryan Zekan. The bottom three in the order, Emmanuel Scott, Bill Brady, and Joe Loftus doing the catching. Defensively, for Morton, they check in with a 29-6 record. Isaac Weber is in left. Braden Brown is in center. Kyle Killian, the right fielder. Nick Garris at third. Evan Pfeiffer, the shortstop. Second base is Ashton Holcomb. Vinny Masalia at first base. The catcher is Isaiah Gudeman, and Logan Peterson will get the ball here for this championship matchup.
They'll give it to the senior, 6'1", 180. This is his 17th game on the hill. A 6-2 record. 48 and a third innings pitched, allowed 34 hits, 12 earned runs, 68 strikeouts against 24 base on balls, a 1.7 earned run average. And as Brian Gannon steps to the plate, I'll turn it over to the Hall of Fame voice of the IHSA to call the 3A state championship game from downtown Joliet, Dave Bernhardt.
Thank you very much, Mark. We'll get things rolling here with Brian Gannon leading it off against Peterson. Fastball just inside. Our championship game umpires, Bert Persons behind the plate, Don Swanson at first base, and Alan McCormick working the third base side of the field. Quickly 2-0 to Gannon. Brian Gannon 0 for 4 yesterday, the center fielder for the Wolfpack from St. Ignatius. 5'11 senior, a .357 batting average coming into this tournament. Gannon goes for that 2-0 pitch.
Two-year starter. He's played every position but catch and first base. Among the team leader in hits and run scores, the table setter, if you will, is Gannon.
Peterson just peering over that glove. Gannon's taking the count to 3-1. We mentioned this yesterday with Brian Gannon. He's been battling shin splints in the last month. He wears a boot when he's not playing or practicing. He has been in pain for a month. And it's a full count.
Quality of bat for Gannon, getting deep into this. Now up off the bottom, he wants to put this first ball into play. Peterson's got to stay back. He's rushing the front side. A little bit of excitement in the state title game.
3-2 pitch. Peterson will make the play. One gone. That's a way to get some nerves out, huh? You battle back from a 2-0 count, then you end up getting ground ball right back to you. One up, one down to Nick Palermo.
Yeah, 2-0-3-1. Falls off to the first base side a bit, but is able to gather himself. Normally an infielder is Logan Peterson, so he was very able to make that play, secure the first out of the inning.
Lemmerl Jr., left fielder. He was 0 for 3 yesterday. 13 doubles, 4 triples, and a .385 average.
Leading his team's on-base percentage, an all-Catholic League performer.
This is chopped to short. Pfeiffer will come on the run and throw on the run. Nice play by the shortstop, Evan Pfeiffer.
And as you so aptly described it, on the run, but watch how he gets his glove down and watch his short feet now. 1, 2, 3 steps to gather his body, be under control, and able to go across his body to throw a strike across the diamond for out number 2.
Peterson working on Thomas Stute. What a day Stute had yesterday, third baseman for St. Ignatius. 3 for 3. He had 3 singles, scored a run. He stole a couple of bases.
Yeah, 2 steals his first 2 times up on the pitcher. Very smart plays by Stute.
This is softly hit. Once again, Pfeiffer the opportunity. The throw pulls Masalia off the bag just a bit. Swipe tag will not go. And with that, runner on with 2 outs. Single in the infield for Thomas Stute.
Tough play. That one was not hit as hard as the previous ball. That's what made it much more tough for Pfeiffer. He had to come further in toward home plate to make that play, as now Peterson gets his rosin bag. Dry the hands. Not much moisture right now, but humidity is in the air. What, 90% you had
we were at
reported
90% earlier today.
That's some heavy air with storms being around.
Dominic Fisher will hit in the cleanup spot, the second baseman for Sean Mason's team. Mason in his 8th season as head coach at St. Ignatius. 131 wins, 148 losses. His third base coach is Sean O'Connor. Phil Wisniewski at first. Mason stays in the dugout, manages the game from there.
Pretty quick to home plate was Peterson. He was under 1-1 right there. Sean O'Connor telling his runner, Stute, increase your lead. He wants to see the best move here.
Not a big lead.
Now remember, as we were scouting / analyzing / coaching from up here yesterday, we saw Stute open his right foot when he wanted to steal. We were spot on. Has not done so yet in this sequence.
Peterson trying to work back. Fisher was 2 for 4 yesterday, drove in a run. One of the 3 runs that Ignatius scored in the 8-inning win. A walk-off win by Villa, a wild pitch. Single and a walk with 2 runners on here with 2 out in the first.
Good patience by Fisher, not getting himself out, not giving up the at-bat. Yes, he was anxious. Yes, he wanted to drive a ball, but he didn't chase a ball, waiting for one his liking, didn't get it. Now 2 runners on, setting the table.
Will McManaman at the plate. McManaman had a couple of hits yesterday. Here in the 3, 4, 5 spots in this Wolfpack order, 7 hits and 11 at-bats.
McManaman, a workhorse yesterday, 120 pitches from the hill.
That took him through 7 2/3 innings.
Now people are saying, I thought the limit was 115. It is, but you can finish any batter you start. Then Fisher comes in, throws 2 pitches, and gets the vulture win.
The inside corner. Manaman with 15 runs batted in this year, 342 hitter, 5 extra base hits. Peterson 1 pitch away from getting out of it.
McManaman has the ability to drive a ball. Got to change his approach right now with 2 strikes. Put the ball in play. He's got to keep that front shoulder in and over home plate. Use the whole yard.
That did not miss by much, and the big crowd that's made their way from Morton not like that call.
And Morton has indeed traveled well. There's a great shot. Red shirts, and there's more up and underneath the home plate area.
The bases are loaded, back-to-back walks. A couple of ground outs started this inning, then a infield single, walk. That was well out of the zone. Loads him up for Ryan Zekan. He's a designated hitter. Hitless in 3 at-bats yesterday. Ball 1.
22 RBIs for Zekan. He's looking for a fastball. This 1-0 count down around his waist.
Ball and a strike. Now Peterson in control. Peterson working from the full windup. Runners will be moving on any sort of contact here. Squirts away. Here comes the runner, Stute, and he'll score first run of the game. Just as St. Ignatius scored their final run last night, they get their first today, a wild pitch.
Oh, so fortunate. This ball just gets away from Gudeman enough. Good walking lead from the windup by the base runner who comes in to score. Stute, we talked about his cerebral play.
This ball is roped to left field. A catch made over his head by Isaac Weber. A single, 2 walks, and a wild pitch. It all adds up to a run for St. Ignatius in the top of the first. We'll go to the bottom of number 1, the early lead to the Wolfpack.
Do you have unclaimed property? Check today at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. The Illinois Treasurer's Office safeguards unclaimed property such as life insurance proceeds, missing paychecks, and forgotten bank deposits. There is $2 billion in unclaimed property. Check if your name is among the thousands who have unclaimed property at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. That's www.IllinoisTreasurer.gov. This message brought to you by the Illinois Treasurer's Office.
Getting set for the bottom of the first inning, the Morton lineup under head coach Jesse Crawford. Crawford picking up his 140th win in a Morton uniform. Crawford, of course, he has been coaching in Missouri. Total career record now of 188 wins. This is how he will go. Nick Garrett, a third baseman, lead it off, followed by the pitcher Logan Peterson. Vinny Masalia is at first base. Kyle Killian in right field. Number 5 in the order is Evan Pfeiffer, the shortstop, followed by Isaiah Gudeman. Isaac Weber, Ashton Holcomb, and Braden Brown round out the batting order for the Potters. Defensively for St. Ignatius, very similar to what we saw yesterday. Palermo, Gannon, and Scott left to right. Thomas Stute, Bill Brady on the left side of the infield. Right side man by Dominic Fisher and Will McManaman. Joe Loftus behind the plate. And the ball is going to go to an inexperienced pitcher. That's Chip Valentine.
Chip Valentine, just his third baseball game pitching appearance of the season for the sophomore. 7 innings pitched, 1-0 record. In those 7 innings, he's been good, allowing just 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 0 walks, a 0.75 earned run average. And all he's doing is starting a state championship game.
First batter he faces will be Nick Guerra. Valentine locates, competes. He'll throw it right at you. Got the win in relief against Coal City in the super sectional. Gave up a run, 4 hits, and 3 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. So you're pitching on the sophomore level all season long, and as they come on up to the playoffs and win, and now you're pitching in a state title ball game.
Living the dream right now.
And he is facing a very tough hitter in the form of Nick Guerra. Guerra, his 2 hits yesterday, a double and a triple. He scored twice and drove in 2 runs.
25 extra base hits for Guerra, who can gap the ball on this 3-0 pitch.
And a tough way to start for Valentine. Guerra down to first.
The toughest thing Valentine does after this base on balls on 4 pitches, Guerra taking all the way. Actually might go to hit batsman, I think, officially. But Valentine put his head down, kind of shook his head. And tough body language for the first batter. Joe Loftus, his catcher, out there to probably encourage him and maybe chew on him a little bit in a positive way. Try to encourage him and say, hey, you're better than that. We're going to demand something from you.
And 1 batter in. St. Ignatius already sends some folks down to the bullpen to warm up. Valentine delivers now to Logan Peterson. That's 5 straight balls. Peterson had a couple of hits and 4 at-bats and drove in 2 yesterday in the 8-1 win over Nazareth Academy.
That's Luis Salinas down in the bullpen, coming from down under on some of his warm-up deliveries.
Logan Peterson, back-to-back Middle Illini Conference Player of the Year. Holds the all-time hits record at Morton High School. He's doing the pitching today.
Jesse Crawford says he's their hardest worker, and that work has paid off. Back-to-back Player of the Year. Going to play collegiate baseball and can do it at the plate and on the hill.
He'll be going to Illinois Central College to play his ball.
3-year varsity player.
Two balls and a strike.
Valentine flying open just a bit. You watch his lead shoulder, it's going toward first base. He's got to keep that closed and going right toward home plate.
Salinas getting ready in a hurry down there. He went down there right after that first walk or first hit batter. He's got a ton of pitches in already. This one gets away. And this foul ball will stop play, as will the ball that comes out of the bullpen all the way down behind home plate.
So this one definitely has already the first inning a championship feel and flair to it. We didn't have much atmosphere in the third place game, justifiably so after the rain. But this one, both teams juiced.
Count goes full. Good time to run here.
Middle infield, Brady at short, Fisher at second. Got to decide who would be covering where Peterson is likely to hit the ball.
449 hitter ropes this one and yanks it foul. He put the barrel on it.
See, interesting, Jesse Crawford opts not to run Guerra. And he knows his players way better than we do. But you got to believe that Logan Peterson is either going to take ball 4 or hit the baseball. You know, the odds of him striking out, I would think, would be very small.
Guerra starts his walk-off lead at first. Fairly short lead. Valentine delivers. Peterson hits his ball hard to the gap in left center field. This one will roll to the wall. Guerra around third. He will be waved. Peterson headed to third. Stand-up RBI triple. We're quickly tied at 1.
Boy, and he turns right to his dugout and points them, and they point back. He just hurt this baseball. 3-2 fastball. Looking for it. Got it. Center cut. Turn it around. Short hops the wall after 3 or 4 bounces. That was a triple in the making.
Very quickly, Sean Mason out of that St. Ignatius dugout and to the mound. A hit batter and a triple. Morton gets that run back in a hurry. No pitching change made. Mason will stay with the sophomore.
Jack Brennan, the courtesy runner at third base. Jack Brennan for the pitcher Peterson.
Vinny Masalia will come in. Masalia yesterday went 6 innings, got the win in the 8-1 victory in the semifinals over Nazareth Academy. Valentine, a big curveball. Valentine from the full windup. He buckles the knees of Masalia.
We've made 2 quality pitches. Both breaking balls off speed and right on the edge, down and away.
I had those feet moving in the batter's box again. Brennan the lead at third, the infield back.
Masalia 10 career long balls.
Masalia, a couple of home runs in the super sectional. And they were deep balls, left field and center field. This ball's hit high. This should be deep enough. Brennan tagging at third. Palermo the catch. And Brennan will score easily, and Morton goes on top, 2-1.
Masalia had one job. That was to get the run in, get the RBI. He did just that. Got a ball up. He went down underneath the baseball, tried to get elevation, got that elevation, Drove Palermo back, not any chance. Sacrifice fly RBI.
This ball is hit high into the air by Kyle Killian. Palermo wants it. Second out. Number 5 hitter Evan Pfeiffer, the shortstop, will get his first look at Chip Valentine. Pfeiffer had a couple of hits yesterday, scored a run. It was a 13-hit attack for the Potters. In fact, head coach Jesse Crawford, following the super sectional game in which Morton scored 16 runs and left 13 on base, Jesse Crawford said, "We're dangerous and we're ready for Joliet." On the line to center. Gannon with the catch. Last 3 men retired. However, the first 2 scored in this inning. Hit batter, triple, sacrifice fly at the end of 1 in your 3A championship ball game. Morton the early 2-1 lead.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings.
With my kids and my customers,
my goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
What are we calling it? Well, St. Ignatius will come to bat. The last time they were at the plate, they had a 1-0 lead. Now down 2-1. 7, 8, 9 in the order. Emmanuel Scott, Bill Brady, and Joe Loftus, the bottom 3 in the order for the Wolfpack.
Well, Emmanuel Scott had a tough day at the dish yesterday in his first varsity start. He pulled off the baseball consistently, had struck out a couple times, but not there.
That one is just foul. He gets down near first base, slaps his hands together, and thought he had one.
And if you recall, he had 2 strikes on him when the wild pitch was thrown. Back to the screen, his team walks off with a wild pitch. Great shot. That ball going, what, about 8-10 inches foul?
He was able to keep that ball pretty straight, actually. Didn't have much hook to it. Sun coming out here at Joliet Route 66 Stadium. Logan Peterson on the hill gets on top 0-2. He walked a couple, gave up a hit, threw a wild pitch, and scored a run in the first inning. And he will get Scott looking. First strikeout of the game for Peterson. Here he comes, right over the top. And ends up in the zone. Bill Brady, shortstop. Peterson looking a little looser this inning with that 1-run lead. Brady, 5'9", 155-pound junior. 250 average into this tournament. He'll get a base hit here. And on top of it, that's going to get by the right fielder, Killian. It will go to the track. Brady being waved. He slowed up a little bit around second. Slides into third. Well, that ball scooted on the turf here a little bit. Triple for Bill Brady.
Killian just can't cut this ball off. Tough angle. He tries to backhand instead of drop stepping it. This ball rolls all the way to the wall. Got the play in front of him. Brady slowed down, but once he pitched up his coach, Sean O'Connor, he easily gets into third.
Looking to squeeze here in the second inning. The catcher, Joseph Loftus.
Safety squeeze is how we would define that, as Brady was not breaking full speed. He was waiting for that ball to get down first.
Joseph Loftus, considered by his coach a fierce competitor, but a guy with a smile that's always on his face. Corners crashing. Back at third, Brady. A triple by Brady, first of the season. Junior sits at third base. Long hold by Peterson and too long for Loftus.
Talk about Brady being a junior. It's his second year as a starter. Next year, theoretically, would be number 3. And his brother Mike was a 3-year starter, now playing college baseball at Lawrence. So you could have 6 years of a Brady at shortstop.
Didn't get that bat pulled back, or was it a strike on a call? In either case, a ball and 2 strikes. Big pitch here from Peterson. Strike 3. Loftus could not get the bunt down.
All they did with Loftus is try to put him in a position where he could get the ball anywhere on that turf, make the defense react and execute. But he never did get the barrel out in front of home plate and force contact and force a play.
Leadoff hitter Brian Gannon to bring home Brady. Still at third with that 1-out triple. Gannon to the left side. Tough play for Pfeiffer. Backhand, throw across, got him!
Great play to save a would-be run. Backhanded play down to the knee. Back up in a split-second throw across the diamond. Defense defined right there.
In a hurry but want a fresh, affordable meal to serve your family or friends? Biaggi's Pronto Packs make it easy to enjoy an authentic Italian meal at home or on the go. Perfectly sized to serve 4 to 5 people and starting at only $30. Pronto Packs include your choice of a pasta or 2 pizzas with a house or Caesar salad and freshly baked bread with Biaggi's butter for dipping. Or if you're planning a meal for a large group, just ask about their party pans, sized for 8 to 12 guests and ready for pickup with 24 hours advance notice. With 6 Illinois locations, Biaggi's Carryout is the perfect solution for your busy lifestyle.
.73 degrees, 85% humidity makes it feel like 85, and all in all, a beautiful day for baseball here. And about 12:30 in the afternoon, St. Ignatius fans have come down from Chicago to Joliet. What a ride that team has had through this state playoff run. Last year, Wolfpack 17-16. They came into this final tournament at 14-11. Knocked off Farragut, Bogan, Solorio, and Brooks. And a super sectional win over Cole City, and yesterday the walk-off win, the runoff win, if you will, against Triad. The last 4 victories, all by 1 run. They have a 20-win season. First batter is Isaiah Goodeman. He'll send this out to the right fielder, Emmanuel Scott, like to catch for the first out. All 4 outs in this ball game off of Chip Valentine have been fly balls to the outfield.
He's retired 4 in a row now, including the sacrifice fly. As you mentioned, everything elevated, and that's okay because he hits the first man, then gives up a big triple, but besides that, he's been able to pitch to contact since that rough start.
Isaac Weber hit by a pitch, flips his bat, It went over the catcher Loftus' head and over the home plate umpire Brett Person's head. He'll be down at first base.
So that's the way the first inning started. Watch the elbow. He takes one for the team right here, right on the elbow. So they're asking, did he make an attempt to not to get out of the way, but did that pitch have a chance to cut to the strike zone?
The ruling is a true hit by pitch. He's down at first base with one out for Ashton Holcomb. Holcomb drove in a run yesterday. Once again, Sean Mason makes the visit to the mound.
Good chance to watch the elbow. Definitely hit by pitch. He was in the batter's box. He did not reach his elbow out. The ball came burrowing in on him. They're going to take the ball from the young sophomore with some words of encouragement. Very impressed the way that decision was made and handled.
So new pitcher coming into the game early on in this ball game. It will be Luis Salinas, and we'll give you all of his information. We'll take a break. It's 2-1. Morton.
Up next is number 5, Evan Davis.
Going to get a look at a little bit different delivery than you've seen here in the state baseball finals this year from Luis Salinas.
Luis Salinas is another sophomore. So the two young guys get the innings in the state finals. A little bit more experience. This is his 9th game. 1-1 record to date. 21 innings pitched. Pretty good. Allowed just 12 hits in those 21 innings. 12 strikeouts and 4 walks. That comes out to a 2.12 earned run average, and you see him from down under. So not sidearm, not over the top, but almost the old submarine style. Very difficult for right-hander hitters, especially to track this baseball.
Well, this one's very important right now. If you're on the Morton dugout, you're taking a good look. As more pitches you can see in the dugout and on deck, the more ready you'll be when you'll step in that batter's box. Holcomb is ready to do just that. Ashton Holcomb. Yesterday, as we said, he drove in a run, had a single. Junior second baseman on the season, just .213. He'll be up there with one out. Runner at first is Weber.
So you have the different release point to lock in on. You have the ball coming more from the third base side, and you also have, when the ball is coming from down under, the ball tends to go up rather than down.
Weber's got a pretty big lead over there at first base. He's going to run on the first pitch, and he'll have a stolen base. Well, that too you're watching during the warm-ups, and for a submariner, it is tough to get that ball to home plate in a hurry.
Xavier Williams already up in the bullpen down the right field line for St. Ignatius.
Holcomb with a little bit of a flinch. Salinas evens up the count.
Pretty good movement on that fastball. Low 80s, but good location, outer edge.
To the right side, that will advance the runner. Fisher will get the out at first, but advancing to third will be Weber. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Braden Brown. Brown had been on an absolute tear coming into this tournament here in Joliet. He was 12 of 17 in the postseason through his first 5 games, including a double and a triple. He was 0 for 4 yesterday.
Runs well, 13 stolen bases. From the left side, you're going to have to get rid of the ball in a hurry if he hits this ball down and on the ground.
Brown's a junior, transfer from Pekin.
Palermo playing pretty deep in left field against a slap-hitting left-handed swing.
Salinas quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
Talk about this all the time. 2 outs. If he's going to beat me, he's going to hit it over my head, not drop something in front of me in the outfield. Defense positioning so important.
Just a piece. And that caught some of Loftus behind the plate.
Emmanuel Scott in right field. Very deep as well.
Home plate umpire Bert Person. Walk out with Salinas. The only conversation is, I'm buying time for your catcher to get himself all put back together here. Big run at third base here in the early going. We're in the bottom of the second inning.
Loftus has to stay down on anything low in the zone here.
To Salinas for the out. And how about Luis Salinas? He comes in with the runner at second base. Ground out. And the Wolfpack right of the inning. In the inning, no runs. There was a hit batter and a runner left on third. 2 complete in the books. It's a 2-1 lead for Morton.
Watching these kids grow up is amazing, but keeping up with a growing family can be a challenge. 3 boys need a lot of school supplies and sports gear, so we started using our family pumpkin farm to help us keep up. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation. It's my personal responsibility.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for your family's future isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find a representative near you at takesimplesteps.com.
The umbrellas that were here earlier today to protect the folks from the rain, now shielding from the sun. Gorgeous day here in Joliet. The Morton's fans, and a lot of them are very active on their phones.
So where's the heads there? I mean, the game's on the field, and there was about 80% of the heads straight down with their thumbs on the phone.
It's between innings, Coach. It's between innings.
They're texting each other who's winning.
At the plate, it's Nick Palermo. Big week of practice, of course, when you get to the state finals and the demands in practice. How about Palermo? He had an excused absence from practice on Wednesday. Checks that swing up. The day before that St. Ignatius was leaving for Joliet, because once a week he volunteers at St. Clement Grade School having lunch with kids who normally eat alone.
Yeah, you talk about service project as a team. There's a selfless service project. He sees a need, and without fanfare, he goes and gets the job done, making a day of some young elementary student from St. Clement.
No balls and 2 strikes to Palermo. He'll try to beat the throw. Full speed all the way, but Gudeman very calmly behind the plate. Will track it down. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Peterson.
Well, Gudeman makes 2 great plays. 1, he knocks that ball down, rounds his shoulders, keeps in front of him. And 2, he takes that extra step to the infield side of first base to get himself a good angle as to not hit the runner.
Thomas Stute after the first pitch. 2 hops to Guerra at third. Low throw picked out of there by Masalia. And that is the first time in this tournament that Thomas Stute has been retired. He had been 4 for 4 prior to this.
Masalia with a low throw, but you got your best friend, Masalia. Oh, there's the replay of the previous strikeout. The nice play by Gudeman. And then we're going to talk about the nice play by Masalia picking that ball right out of the dirt for the second out. So 2 solid defensive plays.
Dominic Fisher walked in the first inning. He gets his second shot here in the top of the 3rd. mentioned earlier, these teams did not commit an error between them yesterday, and we are playing errorless ball here in this one.
Isaiah Goodeman looking over every pitch to his bench. Doug McCarty, the pitching coach, handles the defense and calls pitches.
Peterson right back up on that rubber. And here he comes. You know, when a pitcher is in a groove, when he feels in a groove, whether he consciously or subconsciously, he wants that ball back and he wants to get rid of it in a hurry.
They do a good job, pitches coming from the bench, getting him in a hurry.
Yeah, that is definitely a trait of teams that want to keep the pace up. Strike three called. A 1-2-3 inning for Logan Peterson. He strikes out the first and third batters, and in the middle, his defense comes up big at third base. It's Nick Guerra. A run through the pick at first by Ignatius, and it's the Potters who will go to the bottom of the third, leading by 1.
This portion of the game sponsored by Biaggi's, where carryout and curbside pickup make it easy to enjoy the great taste of Biaggi's at home. Visit Biaggi's online at biaggi's.com.
We are not the only game in town beyond that left center field wall here at Joliet Road 66 Stadium. That is the Miracle Field. And that is the field of rubberized surface to allow children and adults with disabilities to play ball every Saturday afternoon. That field right there was the very first field, the Miracle Field, of which there are several over the country, but the first Miracle Field that was built inside a professional ballpark.
And this field is filled almost every Saturday morning in the summertime, something that those athletes look forward to participating in and week out.
If they got up this morning, they had to be a little bit concerned because there was lightning, there was rain, but they are playing ball this afternoon. Nick Guerra to lead it off here in the bottom of the third inning for Morton. The first time he will face Luis Salinas. Salinas got a couple of ground outs to get out of a jam. Keep his team within 1 last inning. Guerra started this game. He reached by way of a hit by pitch. He eventually scored on the triple from Peterson.
And Morton plated 2 runs bottom of the first inning with only that 1 hit. A hit batsman, Peterson's triple, sacrifice fly by Masalia. Plated 2 runs to have that advantage 2-1 on 1 hit.
That just misses. Right fielder Emmanuel Scott playing very deep for the hard-hitting Guerra. See that load, the light weight shift back, and that front knee comes up, a timing mechanism. Get a little more weight on that back leg.
You put that front foot, knee up and down in the same spot, so it's not a stride like people used to describe. Just that timing mechanism which helps you load up your backside, then load the barrel.
Good pitch, just a bit outside.
Garrett getting D1 interest from mid-major. You can see why.
I said his weight on that back leg. It's actually weight on the inside of that back leg. Salinas can't find the outside part of the plate. And just as he did in the first inning, Guerra finds himself on base to lead off an inning. And now Logan Peterson. He drilled a double to left center field. That was against the starter, Chip Valentine.
Remember, that was on a 3-2 pitch they opted not to run. Peterson, a hard contact hitter, gap abilities. These two guys can create some offense, just those two alone. Guerra and Peterson.
Peterson's RBI in the first inning was his 29th of the season. Guerra leading the team in RBIs with 41. He has his lead at first. That's a called strike.
We've seen very, very few pitch outs utilized this whole weekend.
I don't know if we've seen one.
Yeah.
Salinas, a little peek over his left shoulder. Something off of that one.
Some coaches don't like to give up that strike. I really believe in a pitch out. One, if you have a good feel for the running game, and two, to put that thought in the opposing coach when they're going to pitch out. When they're going to pitch out, it takes away the aggressiveness of the offense.
That gets away from Loftus. A wild pitch will advance Guerra to second. Earlier today, a 5-inning game. Nazareth Academy knocked off Triad 4-0. The third place games today scheduled as 5-inning affairs.
So, you know, you're talking about a state championship. You're talking about well-played defense yesterday and today, but how about pitching? You give up a hit batsman to start the first inning. You give up a base on balls to start this inning. You advance a runner with a wild pitch, free bases. You can't give up free runners / free bases. You're playing with fire against great ball clubs, and that's what we have here in Joliet is great ball clubs.
Philosophy for Morton, the offensive side, actually on the defense side and pitching, is to win innings. You know, and that's a common phrase you hear, win the inning, win the inning. Well, if we look at this game so far, Ignatius got a run in the top of the first, and then Morton won that inning by getting 2 in the bottom of the first. Now here in the third, St. Ignatius was kept off the board. And the Potters will look to win this one by getting at least 1 run. Peterson, chopper, left side, Stute on the run. Holding it second is Guerra.
Good fundamental base running by Guerra holding, because watch Stute right here. The third bounce. And Guerra can't go too far off because Stute is such a smart player at third base. Gets that run through, no runner advancement.
Vinny Masalia had a deep sacrifice fly the first time up in this ball game. He hit it to left field where Nick Palermo stands very deep. Right fielder Emmanuel Scott deep. Center fielder Brian Gannon, he's fairly deep as well. Why not? Masalia, as you mentioned earlier, Mark, 10 home runs. He had a stretch coming into the tournament, 4 home runs in 3 games. Kept in the infield by Brady. He'll try to go to third, nearly gets the out there, but Bill Brady saves a run.
Base hit as he lays out for this ball, does Brady. That ball was not hit hard, but had eyes. Now watch him lay fully out. Glove it in. High throw to third base. Couldn't be helped as he laid out for that baseball. Playing first and third offense are the Potters.
Killian at the plate with Garrett third, Masalia first. Runners hold. Killian flew out to left field his first time up. 21 runs batted in this season for Killian.
3 out of 4 yesterday.
Actually, he picked up his 24th RBI yesterday in that performance. He had a double as part of those 3 hits. Ball is striking it out. One gone in the inning. Salinas looking for a double play here to get out of it. Middle infield of Brady and Fisher pinching.
Next is number 3, Caleb Burks.
Pitch handcuffed Killian. He's able to fight it off. Pfeiffer waits on deck.
Killing a big hole if he just drops the barrel on a ball on the outer edge.
Up the middle. Salinas can't handle it cleanly. He'll track it down. He'll get the out, but a run will score. Coming in to score, Nick Guerra. It's 3-1, Morton.
Well, 2 storylines on this play. One, If Salinas doesn't get his hand on it, it's a double play right back up the middle. 2, if he does execute fielding properly, he still might get the 1-4-3 double play. But just that inability to field that ball cleanly allows the run and moving the line, keeping the inning alive.
Morton has already won the inning. By how much will be determined. Pfeiffer flew out to center field last time up.
And what has scored, Coach Bernhard?
Walks, hit batters.
Yes. Freebies.
Evan Pfeiffer has flashed the leather at shortstop today. Now look to do with the bat, and he finds the hole into left field. Palermo up with it. Massalia will score another run. It's 4-1.
Hitting contagious. They've found some success hitting it down and hard through the 5-6 hole. Brady couldn't come up with that one. Palermo charges hard, but without hesitation. The easy score by Massalia. 2 out runs. They have 2 of them right now. 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and command of this baseball game at this juncture.
Morton won a state title in 1984 under head coach Mike McDonald. 10 years later, they finished second. Runner goes. Throw a little bit too high. Stolen base for Pfeiffer.
You have the long leg and arm of Salinas, and then Loftus basically double clutched on that throw. Couldn't get the grip the first time. The double clutch allows the easy steal. Watch him, he can't throw it on the first one, then he tries to get rid of it quickly. The ball sails.
Isaiah Gudeman at the plate. Gudeman a couple of hits yesterday. 2 of the 13 that Morton racked on the board, including 3 extra base hits.
Talk about 84 Mike McDonald. Field is named after him. Big time baseball name in his hometown, the hometown of Morton. His wife Peggy McDonald was expected to be in attendance today. She's a former administrative assistant at Bradley University's basketball office.
That will be the second walk of this inning. Sends Gudeman down to first.
You don't think Sean Mason's going to be very patient with the free passes.
Riggs Wilkinson, the courtesy runner at first. Isaac Weber becomes the 9th batter to face Salinas, who came on last inning and got 2 quick groundouts. That is ripped right past Jesse Crawford in third base coach's box.
So as you watch what's transpired against Salinas, the good thing that Morton's really done is they've really stayed in and over the ball because they've turned on a few balls instead of bailing out. So they've been able to stay very conscious of keeping their front foot, their front shoulder in. The tendency is to pull off of that when the ball's coming on an angle from the third base side.
Ball hit high, deep to left field. Palermo going back near the wall. He'll make the catch right against the fence. What a great job by Nick Palermo. That ball was tagged. Palermo, the catch, the contact with the wall in the inning comes to an end.
But Palermo's going to give himself up one way or the other. He has no sense of the fence. Full focus on the baseball and keeps his team close, at least for now.
Top of the fourth inning, St. Ignatius going to have to get things rolling here, trailing by 3. Will McManaman will get it started. A line drive rip up the middle on the first pitch he sees from Logan Peterson. That brings us to Ryan Zekan, the designated hitter. McManaman got it all just out of the reach of Holcomb at second base. We're even in hits at 3 apiece. But it's a 4-1 lead for the Potters from Morton, looking for their second state title. Zekan lined out his first time up. So McManaman, the line drive single to get things started, put a little life in the St. Ignatius crowd. Zekan leans back. Zekan had a 2-run triple in the super sectional win over Cole City. That was a ball game that saw St. Ignatius trail 4-0 and 5-1. So deficits are no stranger to the Wolfpack. Ball hit deep to center field. Brown on the run, and he will run it down in right center field. We have seen some outstanding outfield play this weekend in Joliet. We just saw Palermo catch the ball in front of the wall, and this time Brown on the dead run.
And he does. He continues to be superlative in center field. He just glides to that ball, going to a spot where he knows the ball is going to be caught at its highest point, right into his glove, takes away extra bases.
Emmanuel Scott struck out looking his last time up. Peterson starts him with the strike.
Emmanuel Scott looking down for signs. He's had some inability to make contact. I don't think he hit and run with him at this point. Played 95% of the season with a sophomore team. His first varsity start yesterday. Played very solid defensively both games.
And he was a catcher for the sophomore team, playing in right field here in the tournament.
Salia chooses not to hold McManaman on first. He is cursory, and then he'll step in even before the pitch is made.
Once again, Scott will go down swinging. The 5th strikeout through 3 2/3 innings for Peterson.
And Scott just has not been able to adjust this weekend to stay over the baseball. He is so anxious to hit the ball hard. The more anxious he gets, the more it's in his head.
2 outs. Bill Brady will try to duplicate his triple that he had 2 innings ago. Brady hit the ball hard to right center field, and it ended up rolling to the wall.
You know, we watched Brady at shortstop. We mentioned his brother played Mike for 3 years, and this will be 3 years. This is year 2 for him, next year 3. Not flashy, not totally athletic, just totally fundamentally sound. Makes every play.
We talked a little bit about last week about it's nice when you can pencil somebody into that leadoff spot. Same is true here with the shortstop. So 6 straight years of Brady's. That's an easy lineup card. Peterson goes up with heat.
Peterson can run up there in the mid-80s. The higher the elevation, the faster the ball seems to the hitter.
Brady is able to stay alive. This is game 2 of 4 here today at Joliet Route 66 Stadium. We've already had a 3rd place winner in Class 3A, Nazareth Academy 4-0 over Triad. We'll get things started in 4A following this ball game, Lake Park and Sandburg. And then our 4A championship game later on, Plainfield North and Huntley.
They'll try it on their way home. What, about a 4-hour drive? Nazareth, those guys probably in the swimming pool already.
Good job, Goodeman. I know he's to keep it. Getting back to the backstop, he just deadens the ball right there in front of his feet. Gudeman, considered one of the top sophomores in the state by his coach, Jesse Crawford. Up the middle, Brady's going to have his second hit. Being waved to third, McManaman, the throw to third, not in time. Brady will hot-foot it into second. And all of a sudden, a huge at-bat coming up here for St. Ignatius.
Ball hit hard on the 3-2 pitch. Trying to lay out was Holcomb, but he can't get it done. Now, if you watch Braden Brown here, he aeromails this to third. Probably an ill-advised throw. You're not going to get that runner when he's going first to third on a 3-2 pitch. That ball probably should have come back in to second base, which would have held Brady to first and set up a short out, not giving up the extra runner into scoring position.
Ben Perez will be the pinch hitter for Loftus. And another base hit tightens this game up to a one-run game. Perez yesterday 0 for 1 in a pinch hitting appearance. He is now 1 for 10 on the season. Tough spot for the junior. Perez, 5'9", 160 pounds, back into the box. Quickly, 0-2.
So tough to come off the bench. And then so tough to come off the bench when you get down 0-2. Because you are looking for anything, anywhere, instead of locking in on one pitch in one spot. Big difference when you hit.
Crowd reaction tells you what the Morton folks thought of that one.
Definitely not trying to second guess ball strike. I don't have a clue, but I do have a clue. Probably too close to take.
Yeah, that was a very casual
yes.
take. Peterson, a little smile on his face as he walked back off the mound. Here he comes on 1-2. Now 2-2.
That was a breaking ball that definitely did not come through the back door.
Tapper, Peterson. Out of the inning, but not without a little drama. Runner stranded, second and third. St. Ignatius has left 5 on base. They have 1 run. They trail by 3. To the bottom of the 4th we go, halfway home in your Class 3A championship game.
Do you have unclaimed property? Check today at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. The Illinois Treasurer's Office safeguards unclaimed properties such as life insurance proceeds, missing paychecks, and forgotten bank deposits. There is $2 billion in unclaimed property. Check if your name is among the thousands who have unclaimed property at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. That's www.IllinoisTreasurer.gov. This message brought to you by the Illinois Treasurer's Office.
Not have a game here in Joliet without checking out the Steelworkers on their lunch break, overlooking this ball game.
Okay, as the consummate professional that you are, one of the best in the business, I got to chew you out a little bit, because every year we look at those 11 guys, and every year you're going to research why there's 11. Have you done your homework now? Is there a significance to 11 guys? Why not 10? Why not 12?
Can I get an incomplete on my homework assignment? Yeah, you know, it's the Steelworkers football team.
Okay.
And that's why there's 11 of them. They go both ways.
There you go.
Okay, so they are taking a little break here on a Saturday.
Yeah, they've sat through rain delays both days today.
Yeah, they have.
There they are. Bring the lunch buckets to work. Those aren't laptops, are they?
We have our third pitcher of the day for St. Ignatius. Coming on to pitch here in the bottom of the fourth inning will be Xavier Williams. He'd been warming up earlier, 5'10", 180-pound senior.
3-3, 13 strikeouts, 7 base on balls in 44 innings pitched. So he's been out there, 2.90 earned run average. His job to keep his team close. Got to throw a 0 on the board this inning if you're the Wolfpack.
First batter he faces is hit hard, driven by Ashton Holcomb, but right to the center fielder, Brian Gannon. 1 up, 1 down.
Well, the senior left-hander comes in, throws first ball, fastball. Holcomb turns on it, but efficient. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Braden Brown tries to find himself on by way of a bunt. Good bunter, just didn't get that one down.
Like the mechanics, just watching 2 deliveries, Xavier Williams. Very tight, compact, nice loose arm.
Williams started the sectional championship ball game against Brooks. Struggled in 1 inning. Sliding to his left and a little 360 turn for Dominic Fisher. Out number 2.
Well done by Fisher. He knew how much time he had, measured that throw after the 360 spin, kept the glove down. Turned a difficult play into a very easy play because of his fundamentals, the repetition that he's had in his life.
Go back to the top of the order and Nick Guerra. Guerra scored 2 of the 4 runs today. He's reached by way of a hit batter and a walk.
I'm just going to say, this is the guy you got to keep off the base. He creates some things. He sets the table for Peterson and Massalia.
That high right knee kick. Well, when you put Guerra on, that's not even making him earn it, obviously, but a .425 hitter, 12 doubles, 4 triples. He also adds 6 home runs, and then free passes beyond that. That's a tough go.
And here it is, 3-0 again.
Xavier Williams, very hard worker. On Wednesday this week, had a hard practice, and he wanted to work harder, so he got on the track and did some extra running.
Going to go to school in Pomona, California next year. But yeah, that tells you something. I mean, everybody else, okay, I'm going to get some lemonade. He went to the track and just wanted to improve his stamina, his leg. As a pitcher, he wanted to get out there and do that extra track work.
Third time today, Guerra reaches in 4 innings. He is officially 0 for 0. 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Guerra yesterday was on base 2 of the 4 times he came to the plate, 3 more today. That's kind of the definition of a leadoff hitter. Turns it over to Logan Peterson. Peterson back in the first, and an RBI triple after Guerra reached on a hit by pitch.
Peterson's extra base ability outfield very appropriately moves way back. Can't get a 2-out run by a gap ball here. You got to make sure that nothing gets behind you and no double, triple defense.
First 2 hitters in this order hit .425 and .449. Peterson will take that low. 35 extra base hits between Peterson and Guerra.
That'll keep an outfield busy. Guerra, good look at that young man there. Williams, a 4.0 student on the Hill, like most of the Wolfpack, really excelling in the classroom at St. Ignatius College Prep.
Morton at 29-6 on the season. The last loss they suffered in the regular season was to Washington. They were shut out 3-0, came back and beat Washington 11-5 for the sectional championship. There goes Guerra. Peterson scooped this out to left field. An easy grab made by Palermo. 4 complete innings done. The St. Ignatius fans come to their feet. Their team needs some offense. They trail by 3 as we go to the 5th.
In a hurry but want a fresh, affordable meal to serve your family or friends? Biaggi's Pronto Packs make it easy to enjoy an authentic Italian meal at home or on the go. Perfectly sized to serve 4 to 5 people and starting at only $30. Pronto Packs include your choice of a pasta, or 2 pizzas with a house or Caesar salad and freshly baked bread with Biaggi's butter for dipping. Or if you're planning a meal for a large group, just ask about their party pans, sized for 8 to 12 guests and ready for pickup with 24 hours advance notice. With 6 Illinois locations, Biaggi's Carryout is the perfect solution for your busy lifestyle.
Logan Peterson will take the hill for Morton here as we go to the top of the 5th inning. He has allowed just 4 hits, and he has been striking a few folks out. He has 5 here in the game.
Hammer on the outer edge with a curveball. Bunt attempt, not able to catch up. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Trust in your catcher. Strikeout number 3 in this montage. Then he paints the inner edge on the corner. Fastball, curveball, curveball, fastball. He'd find a way to sit you down via the strikeout. And he's done that with great command of his pitches. 67 so far, 41 of those for strikes, 61%. And this is the 19th batter he's faced, 56% strike 1 for Peterson.
All 5 of those strikeouts have come in the last 3 innings. St. Ignatius will start with Brian Gannon, the leadoff hitter in this Wolfpack lineup. 20-win season. Gannon will be followed by Palermo and Stute. This will get out to Holcomb at second. One thing these Potters are not afraid to do is throw on the run.
Oh, you can see they're well schooled in that. And you know, you get a million ground balls before a game or in practice, but you need to practice those run-through plays. So you can have 3 or 4 hitters at once hitting to, slow ground balls, run-throughs to each side. You get an awful lot of reps in a short period of time. You can even roll those repetitions as long as the players are getting their footwork and their feet underneath them.
Palermo is 0 for 2 today. Palermo looking for his first hit in this tournament. .385 average coming in, will dip just a bit. And this will get inside the line. Diving stop made by Guerra. The throw not in time. Great job at third base. Nick Guerra did the best he could have had.
Great effort, but you know what? Just too much speed by Palermo. He knew when he hits this ball, he had to get down the line and hurry. Watch how fast he does. The layout, saving a double down in the corner. Definitely a fair ball. Good call the whole way from one knee. One hopper across the diamond, but no, too much speed for Palermo. Leg hit.
Wolfpack need base runners, and they get one here in Palermo. Thomas Stute, he was retired the last time, the only time he's been retired in this tournament.
Wolfpack had 90-some people try out for their baseball program this year. A far cry from the level that program was 2, 3, 4 years ago. Won Catholic League green titles, both freshman and sophomore level. Varsity team finished 4th in the conference, but they're going to finish 1st or 2nd in the state.
Stute's able to check it up.
And they're going to be on that banner in the gym. They talked about what? All the different Catholic League teams that are not playing today?
They did practice earlier this week. Sean Mason, Stute hits this one high to right field. That is in the sun for Killian. Near the line, he'll make the catch in foul territory. Well done by Kyle Killian to stay with it. But Sean Mason earlier this week, in preparation for this tournament, put all the names, the school names of all the Catholic League members. And one by one, he drew a line through teams whose season had ended. And there was only one name left on the board, and it was St. Ignatius.
Playing on the last day.
Fisher hits this ball hard to right field. Killian is there. A smooth inning, only disrupted by an infield single by Nick Palermo. 4.5 innings gone. Your 3A title game, and Morton hanging on to the 4-1 lead.
Watching these kids grow up is amazing, but keeping up with a growing family can be a challenge. 3 boys need a lot of school supplies and sports gear, so we started using our family pumpkin farm to help us keep up. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation. It's my personal responsibility.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for your family's future isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find a representative near you at takesimplesteps.com.
Two runs in the first, 2 more in the third. Those are the 4 scored by Morton. They have been out-hit today by St. Ignatius by a 5-3 margin. And on the hill, it's Xavier Williams will be working in his second inning of relief. This game was started by Chip Valentine, then Luis Salinas came in, pitched a couple of innings. Now Xavier Williams trying to do the job of holding the Potters right here. You'll have to do it in meat of the order. 3, 4, 5. Vinny Masalia, Kyle Killian, and Evan Pfeiffer. Masalia today, sacrifice fly for an RBI, singled and scored a run. That was in the third inning. So all sorts of different looks that Sean Mason has rolled out there on the St. Ignatius mound. Valentine over the top, Salinas, right-handed submarine pitcher. And now Williams, soft tossing lefty. Sean Mason, 1996 graduate of St. Ignatius, cum laude graduate of Harvard University. He was the career stolen base leader at St. Ignatius, All Catholic League selection in the middle 90s 3 times. Getting set for our third place game in Class 4A, but we still have some ball to be played here in this championship game. Count now 2-2 to Masalia.
I think they just started 5.
That little step in front of the rubber, delivers. Masalia hits it hard and jumps up over the glove of Brady at short and into center field. Brady will be charged with an error. Hard hit ball right at him to start the bottom of the 5th. Getting the leadoff batter on in an inning has proved very beneficial for Morton today. They did it in the first, they scored twice. They did it in the third, they scored twice. In no other inning did they put the leadoff man on until here in the 5th. This is Killian. Killian had an RBI ground out. Drive in the 3rd run of this game. Killian wishes he had that pitch back. And his timing just a little bit disrupted. He liked the location, but it didn't quite work out for him in terms of that timing.
Playing way up the middle is Fisher against Killian.
Killian trying to go the other way.
Now the positioning between Fisher at second and Brady at short. Fisher way towards second, but so is Brady. So if you're going to play one guy out of position, you probably want to move the other guy as well.
Short center field, Gannon coming on. He'll come up with it. Another great outfield play, this time by Brian Gannon.
Lay out for the ball, save a possible big inning getting started. He had a beat on that ball. His fans love it big time, on their feet for this. He's off from the sound. He knows he has it. He knows he has it. He knows he has it. Lays out, finishes the deal, shows the baseball as he rolls over.
Now our 3 umpires, Bert Person, Don Swanson, and Ellen McCormick, huddling together near the mound. Meanwhile, another conversation taking place. Evan Pfeiffer, the next hitter, the catcher Joe Loftus. I think Jesse Crawford was asking, was that indeed a catch? And the answer is yes, it was.
So what happens with the umpires, they ask and they discussed it. They made the correct call. We have privy to the replay and the slow motion. But the other thing is a point we'll make after this pitch.
Knocked down by Loftus.
They go to 3 umpire crew, and these are among the 3 best in the state, like all the 12 umpires down here are. They've earned that, but they work quite a bit of the year with 2-man crews. So the mechanics in the tournament are just a little bit different. So who goes where and in what situation is different than what they're used to all year long.
They come in on Thursday. They have their umpires meetings. They get together. You know, there's plenty of discussions, but as true in any sport, until you get out there in the field, you don't know. Williams staggered, gets it to second, a relay to first. The ball gets past the first baseman, McManaman. And that will allow Pfeiffer to head towards second, where he's thrown out. Well, that's an unconventional play.
Yeah, but how about the seed to second base? I mean, he throws 120 pitches yesterday.
Yeah, right.
My goodness. There's the errant throw. Runner never hesitates, but McManaman, ball and out.
This portion of the game sponsored by Biaggi's, where carryout and curbside pickup make it easy to enjoy the great taste of Biaggi's at home. Visit Biaggi's online at biaggi's.com.
Will McManaman will start the top of the 6th inning for St. Ignatius. He made that great throw moments ago. Back in the 4th, he started off an inning with a single. Now the inning that saw Wolfpack leave a couple on base. The only run of the game scored by Ignatius came in the 1st inning, and it came on a wild pitch, which, interestingly enough, is how St. Ignatius won the game last night in semifinal play in the 8th inning over Triad.
Well, you know, we talked about the throw 3 times now because it's well-deserved to finish that double play. 120 pitches yesterday. So your arm, when you do that, you are definitely sore. You should be when you pitch. But he just let that one fly with velocity and right on the money from what, 120 feet?
It was all the way up
Yep.
against the screen. It was a good 120.
And it was a laser beam.
Logan Peterson's been dealing. He has allowed 5 hits. Morton has been out hit 5-3. Testimony to how well these 2 teams have played defensively. The error we had the last half inning, that was the first error that these 2 teams have had combined in this tournament.
Stellar defense. Logan Peterson has only pitched 52 innings counting today on the year. That leads their staff. So that's relatively low. None of the pitchers have been taxed too much in Jesse Crawford's staff.
Slowly to the left side. Pfeiffer once again makes the tough play look easy. Well, the pitchers for Morton have been able to rely on this defense.
Pitch to contact. Both these shortstops, Pfeiffer for Morton, Brady for Ignatius, Not flashy, not totally athletic. Don't have the wow factor. Don't have the eye test. They're just good players.
You know, this is a defense that struggled early in the season for Morton. As you've seen here, it's now become a strength. We're talking about the pitchers for Morton. Jesse Crawford feels as if he will have, or knows he will have, 6 pitchers will be playing college baseball. He thinks he may have the deepest pitching staff in the state.
And he's developed all of them. You look down the left field line, those red T-shirts with all the little fellas. Honestly, that's when a program happens. You have a community like Morton. They all will remember this state tournament. They might be talking about it 6 or 7 years when they're here.
Girls basketball team denied in their quest for their 4th straight basketball championship this year, and the boys baseball team looking to pick up their first championship trophy since 1983. 2-1 pitch from Peterson. Ryan Zekin at the plate. He's 0 for 2. One out walk sends Zekin down to first base.
Good at bat. He knows his team needs runners. Chasing 3. Didn't try to do something with the ball up and out of the zone that he just would have popped up, let it go, and moves the line.
Joe Marino to come on, and he will bat for Emmanuel Scott. Scott a couple of strikeouts today. Marino senior with the .304 average. He'll go after the first pitch he sees from Peterson. Zekan a cautious lead at first. Strike 2. Once again, Vinny Masalia, the first baseman, not anticipating any pickoff throw from Peterson. He stands near the bag, and then he'll gradually drift off even before Peterson starts his delivery.
Peterson with a high set. Look at it. He's up by his chin, up by his back ear, which you would think is not comfortable. You want to be comfortable as a pitcher, but we get another shot of him when he goes to the set position. His elbows are down, and that means there's no tension in your forearm, so you're relaxed.
Joe Marino trying to work through this count. Long look by Peterson, the glance over to first.
A little bit of indecision on what pitch they want to go with here.
Marino, a good rip. Down to the final 5 outs. St. Ignatius looking for base runners. Strike 3 called on a bender.
Well, that bender had late bite because this really goes down hard at the last second and just froze him. Didn't react well to the late break of that ball. Great picture of that young man who has really been in command today, Logan Peterson.
He will face William Brady, who has 2 of the 5 hits. Brady hitting out of the 8th spot of the order, a triple and a single. 2 outs, Zekan at first. Zekan will be going nowhere. So you're at the number 8 spot in the order. You would love, if you're St. Ignatius fans, you would love Brady to get on base any way you can so you can at least get to the 9 spot here in the 6th. Peterson has some other ideas. He battles back from a 2-0 count.
Got that ball right on the outer edge. Really didn't try to locate there. He was just trying to throw a strike on 2-0 with a 3-run lead.
Brady, does he go 3 for 3? He does. Zekan rounding second, heading to third to throw. He's there, and Brady goes into second. So William Brady, 3 for 3 today.
He just laces this ball, and once again, Braden Brown, he's done a tremendous job getting to baseballs today, cutting off alleys. But that's the second consecutive inning that he allowed the trailing base runner to get into scoring position.
We will have our second pinch hitter of this inning, Adam Hines. He will bat in the 9th spot for Loftus. Second time Loftus been hit for, so he will be out of this ball game. Himes, after this conference on the mound. Himes, a 275 hitter, a senior with 1 double on the year.
Well, parent conference is probably appropriate though, because oftentimes player and coach have that almost father-son relationship, and you can tell just by body language and meeting him. Sean Mason has just tremendous rapport with his student athletes.
This is the exact situation that St. Ignatius was in the 4th inning. Runners second and third with 2 out, the number 9 spot in the order up. Last time, Peterson got a ground out to end the inning. This time he has to face Himes. It's the crucial at bat of this game. Goodeman keeps the ball right there. The only run of this game for St. Ignatius came in the 1st inning on a wild pitch. Wolfpack have scored 4 runs in this tournament, 2 by way of a wild pitch. Himes taking all the way. Himes will look at ball 2.
That's a borderline call. Goes Himes' way. A whole different hitting and pitching approach. 2-1, 1-2. Advantage hitter Himes here on 2-1.
A little bit too long for Himes' liking.
Peterson steps off, goes to Rosin. Kind of lost his rhythm. He's got to regroup his mind right now.
Himes, line drive right into the glove of Evan Pfeiffer. 6 inches either way, and 2 runs will score. But instead, the ball to the right spot, to the shortstop Pfeiffer, and that will end the threat. And it will preserve the 4-1 Morton lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. Morton with 4 runs today. They picked up 2 in the 1st inning, 2 in the 3rd. That's how the Potters did it. After spotting St. Ignatius to a 1-0 lead, this is Logan Peterson, second batter of the ball game for Morton. He goes triple to the left center field wall, and immediately following that, Vinny Masalia with the sacrifice fly. 3 batters into this game, Morton had taken the 2-1 lead. That 2-1 lead lasted until the 3rd inning. All of a sudden, the Potters wanted to get things going a little bit more. Run scores right there, and the ball off the pitcher's glove. Nick Guerra comes in to score, and a base hit to left field from Evan Pfeiffer. And that takes us to our 4-1 game here going into the bottom of the 6th.
So for St. Ignatius defense, Emmanuel Scott re-enters in right field. And in the 9 spot, we have a new catcher in sophomore Chris Rogel.
Leading it off here in the 6th is the catching counterpart of Rogel, and that is Isaiah Gudeman. Xavier Williams still on the hill for St. Xavier. Why do you keep saying St.? Because the two schools are not that far apart, St. Xavier University and St. Ignatius in Chicago. The pitch a little bit low. Williams is working in his 3rd inning of relief.
Been very effective, crafty, change speed, breaking ball pitcher, knows how to handle himself out on the hill.
You look at the board, you just saw the highlight package for how Morton scored their runs. They only have 3 hits today. So Valentine, Salinas, and Williams have really done a job on this high-powered Morton offense that wrapped out 13 hits yesterday.
But on the negative side, too many free opportunities have put pressure on the St. Ignatius defense and created run-scoring opportunities on those 3 hits.
2 of those 4 runs scored came from Nick Guerra. He reached the leading off innings by a hit by pitch and by a walk. Sandburg and Lake Park will follow this ball game, the 3rd place game in Class 4A. And our championship game, Huntley and Plainfield North. One of those 2 schools going to win their first baseball championship. This will stay in play. McManaman for the first out. Isaac Weber was robbed his last time up, hit a ball deep that would have been a home run last year at this park. The fences have been moved back this year. Robbed by Nick Palermo in left field, made the catch right up against the fence on the run. Chopper, this is going to be tough. Oh, they'll come up with it. McManaman somehow dug it out of there.
Gold glove kind of play by McManaman. Short hop, hopping on that in a hurry was Rogel, the catcher. Look at that sophomore taking charge.
I don't know how McManaman caught that ball because Weber's feet were right there in the path.
Yeah, I mean, his sight line had to have been impeded, but he had stayed with the play. And how about the sophomore catcher? Comes in, probably didn't expect to play today. Let's call it as it is. Ball right in front. He just, boom, takes charge.
That was Chris Rogel. This is Ashton Holcomb at the plate for Morton. After that defensive play, the one thing you want Xavier Williams to do is let's finish this inning. Meanwhile, Morton has a couple of arms up in the bullpen. Three 3-0 to Holcomb. Now 3 balls and a strike.
Connor Kelly, 34, tall right-hander.
That will be ball 4. Holcomb with the 2-out walk. Bring us to the number 9 hitter, Braden Brown. One of the catchers warming up the pitchers down in the Morton bullpen is Jake Mosey. He's a junior at Morton. He's 4 feet 11 inches tall, 140-pounder, a lefty. He has never missed a workout. So he gets a uniform and he becomes a bullpen catcher. There you see just on the lower right-hand portion of your screen, number 18. He took infield yesterday, throwing the ball around the infield. A great thrill for him.
No doubt he belongs. Size not a factor. It's the size of his heart. He goes out there, competes, and contributes.
Holcomb the lead at first. Pretty big one against the lefty. Now this may be a shot right here where you may go on first move. Take a chance here with a 3-run lead. Try to get that run into scoring position. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Only 3 outs left for St. Ignatius. Braden Brown 0 for 2 today.
Braden Brown's done a good job running some balls down in center field and stopping some gaps in center field by cutting balls off.
Williams has lost the strike zone here in the last 2 batters. Looking ahead to the top of the 7th inning, you will be looking at the top of the order for St. Ignatius. Gannon, Palermo, and Stute. Wolfpack be looking to make up at least 3. Brown puts a charge into this one. Drives the center fielder Gannon back, and he'll make the catch. So Brian Gannon will make that catch. He will sprint into the dugout, and he'll become the leadoff hitter for St. Ignatius. Morton, 3 outs away from a state title as we go to the 7th.
Do you have unclaimed property? Check today at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. The Illinois Treasurer's Office safeguards unclaimed properties such as life insurance proceeds, missing paychecks, and forgotten bank deposits. There is $2 billion in unclaimed property. Check if your name is among the thousands who have unclaimed property at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. That's www.IllinoisTreasurer.gov. This message brought to you by the Illinois Treasurer's Office.
The 7th inning for Morton will be in the hands of reliever Nick Guerra. He comes in from third base to pitch. Logan Peterson, his day is done on the mound. He'll finish it up at third base.
Flip-flop positions, and flip-flop roles here. Guerra's here to save the win. Logan Peterson had built the lead in, and Guerra's numbers look like this for the 6'3", 200-pound junior. He's 6-1, 39 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 29, walked just 9, giving up 28 hits, and has a fine earned run average of 1.59. Guerra's job, 3 outs and a title.
Ryan Gannon to lead things off. He has grounded out 3 times today. He'll be followed by Nick Palermo. He has a hit. Thomas Stute has a hit, and the only run scored.
Potters fans have been on their feet since their team made the last out in the bottom of the 6th inning. I don't think they'll sit down between now and the last pitch of this game, no matter when it is.
First pitch fired from Guerra. Strike 1, and every strike will get a cheer from the folks in red.
On their feet.
And on the other side, St. Ignatius not going quietly. Their coach Sean Mason said, "We're not a perfect team, but we don't give up." This becomes a very important pitch. Foul ball and out of play.
Talk about the last inning of a game, especially a championship game. First out of the inning. An incredibly difficult out. Quite clearly, the last out of a game, the most important and most difficult out. But getting the first out of the last inning, so huge.
Gannon with the swing miss, out number 1.
This is a very, very good pitch. A tumbling late breaking slider, if you will, with really late break, just enough off speed. Pulled his head just a bit. Gannon, excellent, well executed pitch by Guerra.
Now Nick Palermo will step in. 1 for 3 today. He had an infield single. Actually, it was a hard hit ball that Guerra at the time at third base made a great stop deep behind the bag at third and had no play. Just like that, it's 0-2. Morton fans, the anticipation building. Back-to-back strikeouts. Now 1 out away.
Guerra can taste it right now. Great two-seam fastball with some run right back in the hands. Good movement. Back-to-back punch-outs, and he can't wait right there to get it and throw it.
Thomas Stute, the hottest hitter for Ignatius here this weekend. 1 for 3 today, 3 for 3 yesterday. The last shot for the Wolfpack. Guerra from the wind. And a strike thrown. Pitch from Guerra. Up and in. The silence before each pitch.
Is that the calm before the would-be storm?
Strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Do it again.
Potter's team on the edge of the dugout. As the pitch is thrown, they're like halfway out on the field, getting ready to run to a would-be celebration. Couple knees already up and over the side of the dugout.
Line drive base hit. This game's not over yet. Stute, second hit of the day. And that will bring up Dominic Fisher. The tying run in the game is in the on-deck circle.
What an exhibition Stute has put on this weekend. The All-Catholic League Green performer has just been superlative defensively and on the ball all weekend long, hitting.
If you're looking for a home run, this is not the team that will do it. 4 different players have 1 home run each. Fisher is one of those. This ball up the middle, and it will get into center field. And the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Will McManaman.
He turns around this for a base hit up the middle. Hogan just can't get to it. Ball kind of scoots underneath his glove. All you want, I know what you just mentioned about only 4 home runs, but the tying run is indeed to the plate.
This is the man you would want there, McManaman. Nick Guerra on the mound. McManaman, a big cut, and will foul it into the screen.
Outfield very deep. They don't want anything to go beyond them to put the tying run in scoring position.
Strike two and a foul ball. Both sides on their feet. Good spot from Guerra.
Pictures being taken on every single pitch. The memory of the last pitch of what would be a state title.
Manman staying alive. Taking some pretty good cuts up there. To the shortstop. Pfeiffer to first. Your 3A champs, the Morton Potters. Evan Pfeiffer has shown the leather all day. This was a routine play, a routine out. But yet it's a state championship out. And for the first time in 35 years, Morton claims boys baseball championship in Illinois.
Nothing like the last out of a state title game. As Bedlam has broken out on the field, they've been waiting and waiting to jump over that dugout. They finally get their chance on the 6-3 putout. Why not end on a fundamental play? It is a fundamentally fine team. It's a fundamentally fine championship team. They'll take it back home to Morton.
An improbable run to the state title ball game ends up in a second place finish for St. Ignatius. Well, your 2018 state champions hail from Central Illinois, the Morton Potters. They used the gloves. They took advantage of key hits. They scored early, 2 in the first. They added 2 more in the third. And Morton, a big offensive juggernaut, limited to just 3 hits today, but Logan Peterson so strong on the mound for Morton. He will get the win. And whatever it took for Morton to come and pick up their 29th win on the season, they did it here today in Joliet. Logan Peterson ends up with the victory and 6 strikeouts on the day. And for the Potters, they bring that state title home to Morton the first time in 35 years. Your final score here from Route 66 Stadium in Joliet. The Morton Potters 4, the Wolfpack from St. Ignatius 1. Congratulations to your 3A state champions from Morton. From Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Thanks for joining us. We still have 4A baseball coming up.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings.
With my kids and my customers,
My goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at takesimplesteps.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the presentation of the first and second place annual award for the 2018 Class 3A IHSA State Baseball Tournament. Presenting the Gathering Trophy will be Sam Knox, an Assistant Executive Director for the IHSA. At this time, please meet the Wolfpack of St. Ignatius College Track, who finished the 2018 school year in second place with a final record of 10 wins and 12 losses. Superintendent, Father Michael Caruso. Principal, Brianna Lacto. Athletic Director, Paul Itis. Trainer, Owen Stitz. Head Coach, John Mason. Assistant Coach, John O'Connor. Assistant Coach, Louis Zuski. Assistant Coach, Ed Edgeworth. The players, Dominic Morello. Chris Rogo. Ryan Gannon. Joe Ross. Eric Rasco. Xavier Williams. Manuel Scott. Bill Brady. Bob Moran. Tom Stokes. Richard Constead. John Schieffer. Jim Valentine. Joe Marino. Ryan Zupan. Jeff Hancock. Dominic Fisher. Will McMahon. Nick Palermo. Aiden Kelly. George Wilbur. Aiden Boyle. Ed Perez. Adam Hines. Christopher McFarland. Reese Salinas. At this time, please meet the Potters of Morton High School. Superintendent Jeff Hill. Principal Mike Corley. Athletic Director Scott Jones. Trainer Casey Evans. Head Coach Jesse Russell. Assistant Leslie Cantwell. Doug McCartney. Greg Wright. The players, Ridge Wilkinson. Evan Pfeiffer. Isaac Weber. And Billy Ruder. Evan Hill. Isaiah Davis. Lenny Corey. Ashton Oakland. Jeff Brennan. Rick Brown. Jim Masalia. Miles Fulton. Will Coach May says, the captains from St. Ignatius College Prep, please step forward to receive your second place team trophy. Coach Crawford, and the captains from Morton High School, please step forward to receive your first place trophy.